Hello students. So today in this particular video I'll be teaching you about chemical reaction and equation. Right? This is our very first chapter of class 10th, right? Okay. So what is a oh my god, what happened here? Hi everyone. Today in this video I'll be teaching you about the chemical reactions and equations. As you all know, this is the very first chapter of your class 10 science, chemistry basically. So first of all, what is a chemical reaction now? Dekho, what is chemical reaction which is associated with a chemical change? Now what is a chemical change? Chemical change means, see, it is something which is associated with a chemical change. Now what is this chemical and what is basically chemistry? Chemistry is undergoing and studying everything, right? Like every detail, anatomy of a reaction, right, is what is chemistry basically. So if I'm talking about a chemical change, it means where my original substance would go through some changes which will entirely change up its structure internally, right? This is what is my chemical reaction is. How will I define a chemical change? A change which is permanent, which is irreversible, right? We often say that it is irreversible. And why it is irreversible? Because we can't bring back. Okay, example, I believe that it's better to study with the help of examples. They make things really clear, right? Let us take this. Okay, now what is the example for it? Let's say we have cooked a vegetable. Okay, let's say that you love malai kofta, which is a very good dish. Now, what happens when you prepare a malai kofta? You have a bread, right? You take some milk to make the gravy, right? Maybe I don't know how to make it, but yeah, we go do something like this. We take potatoes, right? And what we do then, we fill in the stuffing made up with the potatoes, with the onions, in what, in the bread soaked with the milk, and we mix them both and make some dough out of it, and then we boil it, right? And then we fry it, and then comes the malai kofta sabji, right? So what happens is there is something which is going on, right? That is also a chemical reaction. All right, now chemical reaction, yeah, sorry, I've written equation, it's chemical reaction. All right, G. Now what do we have is, now chemical reaction. Now define a chemical reaction, ma'am. Chemical reaction is a process where my original substance, okay, a process in which my original substance lose its identity. And what happens is they lose their identity and nature and change up into something new, right? They form new chemical substance with different chemical properties, right? Also, we can't bring back the new substance to the original one so easily, right? Now, okay, let's say this is a chemical reaction. Now how will you represent it? Right, we want to show to world what is a chemical reaction, how it is getting performed, how will we show it? So how we will do something which is what we call the chemical reactions and equations. This color is not visible at all. We will represent it with the help of chemical equations. All right, ma'am. Oh my god, wait for a second, guys. Yes, what we will do is we will represent it with the help of chemical equations. All right, now what is chemical equation? It is basically a representation, right? Symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. All right, G. Now what else you are going to say, ma'am? Now How do we balance a chemical reaction? That is a very important thing, and there are many things which are to be written in this representation part, but I will tell you that when we'll write a equation, right, I'll tell you how we represent it. So basically, if you see here, see, we'll have to understand the anatomy of a chemical reaction. Now, what is the anatomy? Like a study of it, a deep study. To make the chemical equation more effective, what I do is, let's say, ma'am, you have a reactant A, you have a reactant B, which is yielding you product C and D. Now I will, to make it more informative, I'll put their physical states as well. Let's say that this is solid, this is liquid, let's say this is gas and this is also gas. Maybe there is some reaction which is occurring, and where I have mentioned these states. And what is this? This is what shows my yielding wala thing. Okay? That my reactants A and B are yielding something C and D, which are my products, right? And there are four states that we represent. One is aqueous as well, and another one is PPT as well. What is this PPT? PPT is something which we call a precipitate, which is an insoluble part which doesn't get dissolved, and which is remained after my reaction is performed, right? Now, also represents my direction, keep in mind, so put this sign whenever you read it. Also, sometimes when we have to represent the temperature terms, what we use this term, which is the heating, right? All right, let's say we have a reaction where my nitrogen, which is gaseous, when reacts with hydrogen, gives me 2 in H3 gas. Ma'am, you have written 2 3 1. How you got it? I said I remember it, but I'll teach you how to make it one. This is my balanced chemical reaction. And what is this Fe and 450 degrees Celsius? See, Fe is my catalyst, and my 450 degrees Celsius is the temperature upon which my reaction is happening. Obviously. Now, let's move on ahead. Let's move ahead and let's say that we have a types of chemical reactions as well. So what they are, first of all, we have the combination reaction. Okay, G. As the name itself signifies, what is a combination reaction? Something and something would be combining to form something and something, obviously, ma'am. Let's say that we have equation which is 2 magnesium plus oxygen gives me 2 MgO. Don't go up on these coefficients which I am writing here. Here it's 0. And what are these coefficients? This is what we call the stoichiometric coefficient, right? All right. Now, here in this, what is happening is my magnesium is combining with the oxygen, which is gaseous, and this is solid, let's say, which is magnesium rubber. Most of the times we take this, which is giving me a solid magnesium oxide. That means, and what happens, when this reaction happens, this produces a dazzling white flame, right? And we should not directly look at it. Another reaction is a very good one. You can do it at home. No, I won't advise to do it at home. That is CaO solid. Wait for a second, guys. Yeah, which is calcium oxide plus what? ये क्या हुआ? Calcium oxide, which is solid, on adding up H2O, which is liquid, yields up me CaOH whole twice, which is my hydroxide, calcium hydroxide. Okay, this plus evolving some heat, right? Now, see, this is what we call a exothermic reaction. Another one is a subtype, which is my endothermic reaction. In exothermic, the energy is released, and here the energy is absorbed. Alright, we do have one more reaction, which is my decomposition reaction. Okay, this is another type where what is happening, it's my substances broke up. They have broken up with each other. Maybe they have some issues with each other. So we have an example for it as well, which is, let's say we have lead nitrite, let's say, Now what happens is, let me write, formula is PbNO3 whole twice, and which gives us PbO plus 4 NO2 plus O2, and if you write a balanced one, it will be 2 here, it will be a 2 here, and it will be 4 here, and here it will be O2 only, right? This is gas, this is again gas, okay, like I'm not writing here, and this is solid, this is my solid, this is my gas, I'm not able to get it right, I'm not able to write here, and this is also solid. So I guess you are getting it what I mean. And what happens is, when these reactions happen, there is a gas which is evolved, which is the NO2 gas, right? What is the identification for it? It produces brown fumes. Alright, G. I hope that you got it. And the further part we discuss in the video number 2. Thank you. My God.